Last episode of AEW Dynamite for 2021 did not disappoint. This week's episode was also the last one to air on TNT, with Dynamite moving to TBS from next week. Dynamite's New Year's Smash featured Kyle O'Reilly's first match in AEW, as well as a big debut / return for a former WWE star. We also had Chris Jericho returning, so lots going on. Let's get started with Lucha Bros, Jurassic Express and Christian Cage versus FTR and HFO. Cage and Wheeler started off for their respective teams. It was good work from Christian as he got control for his team. He punched Cash in the corner. Dax tried to come in and help, but was taken down with rights. Jungle Boy and Dax Harwood hung in. Jungle Boy hit a series of drop kicks to take down Dax. Christian tagged back in and hit Dax with a rig right hand. Jungle Boy came in and went for the snare trap, but Dax went for it and tagged Cassidy in. Jungle Boy took Isaiah down and tagged in Fenix before Lucha Bros hit double team move to Cassidy before tagging Jungle Boy back in. A back and forth ensured Jungle Boy and Cassidy were evil before Hardy tagged in. Hardy cut off Jungle Boy in his team's corner with the referee distracted. Tully Blanchard got some strokes before Jungle Boy finally managed to tag out. The Lucha Bros came in and were hot all over FTR. Fenix then hit Mark Quinn with a senton for a near fall. Quinn hit back with a DDT before Luchasaurus finally tagged in and cleaned house. He took the fight to both FTR and Private Party. Luchasaurus hit Cash Wheeler with a tail whip followed by a chokeslam. Penta was tagged in with a blind tag and went for a backstab before things started to break down. There was an argument between Penta and Christian in the ring, and that led to FTR hitting Cage with a big rig and pinned him. I didn't really see the commotion in the babyfaces coming, but decent match. I would argue probably the correct result, so I'll give it a 7 out of 10. We got 2.0 and Daniel Garcia against Eddie Kingston, Santana and Ortiz. Kingston and Lee started things off. Kingston was on top early on before the heels ganged up on him. Santana and Ortiz quickly came to help him out though. Back in the ring, Kingston was dominating Parker before Ortiz tagged him. Back and forth ensued before both men Parker took control. Ortiz hit back with a dropkick before tagging Santana in. We got some great combination offense from Santana and Ortiz before Parker managed to wrestle away. Ortiz tagged back in, but Lee and Parker managed to subdue him and take control. We saw some good teamwork from 2.0 as they managed to isolate Ortiz. Eddie Kingston came in without making a tag and the ref forced him to leave the ring before Ortiz finally made the tag. Eddie was all over Garcia, lighting him up. Santana tagged in and we saw more combination offense from the Inner Circle members. Matt Lee then pulled Santana's tights and rolled him up for the win. After the match, Daniel Garcia brought the ring bell in. After the match, 2.0 Howard Santana and Garcia smashed him. Jericho made his AEW return, coming out to make the save, but it wasn't to save Santana. Jericho and Kingston got into a heated argument in the middle of the ring, and Ortiz got hit with the bell. This was good stuff. I'm interested to see a Jericho-Kingston feud. That'll be really interesting. Maybe teasing some tension in the Inner Circle as well. So this was good shit. MJF was backstage and accused AEW of unsafe working conditions. He said that he was almost thrown on his face last week by Sting, who called him an untrained outlaw. MJF added that if he worked for a proper company, he wouldn't be put in such a situation, teasing a move to WWE once again. MJF also had a message for Wardlow, who had a TNT title shot coming out. Assault the Earth said that if Major Guy won the title, he would relinquish it to MJF, bringing in Mark Stone to read out the fine print of Wardlow's contract. They once again teased the But on the whole, this was just another brilliant promo from MJF. The Lucha Bros were then confronted backstage by Christian Cage and Jurassic Express. Christian accused them of going into business for themselves. Christian said it was time to stop delaying the inevitable, and it looks like Jurassic Express will get their title shot next week. Penta replied that for a legend. Christian was a bad tag team partner. Penta also had a message for Jungle Boy, telling him if he wants to go be in the future, he needs to let go of the past. Two decent promos there. Can't wait for that match next week. It'll be really good. Next up on Dynamite, we got Wardlow versus Colin Delaney. Wardlow made short work of Delaney, destroying him with 4 powerbombs and quickly pinning him. Just the most interesting thing was that Delaney was part of the 2007 to 2008 WWE. Definitely don't remember that. But on the whole, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Another dominant win for Wardlow. What's not to like? Adam Cole was then backstage with the Young Bucks, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. The Young Bucks weren't totally happy with Kyle O'Reilly showing up in WWE. O'Reilly then asked to speak to Kyle privately and asked him if he would have his back later tonight. And before we got Dan Lambert, who was in the ring with Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. Lambert kept taking shots at Cody Rhodes and Brandy. Lambert blasted Cody Rhodes for cutting a backstage deal with Tony Khan to become his pet product. Brandy Rhodes then took the mic and came out calling Dan Lambert a cheaper version of Paul Heyman and Jim Cornette, which is a good line. Brandy then threatened to beat him up, but Dustin came out and tried to restrain his sister-in-law, but Ethan Page took him down. with a cheap shot. Yeah, this is good stuff. I kind of feel like Dynamite could end up being the face to it, which is a bit weird. But yeah, it was good stuff. Before we got Thunder Rosa versus Jade Cargill in the semi-finals, Rosa didn't waste any time, quickly taking out Mark Styling, before Jade Cargill capitalised, hitting a backbreaker at ringside and after catching Rosa in midair. Rossa then hit back, going after Jay's knee, before Thunder continued going after Jay's leg, trying to keep her grounded. The power advantage was still there for Cargill, who managed to toss Thunder Rossa into the barricade. The match finally headed back into the ring, but Thunder Rossa quickly took control. She headed to Brett's rope and hit an elbow strike before we cut to a commercial. Jay Cargill attempted a big boot, but Thunder Rossa dodged and went over after the leg again. Jade overpowered her opponent and locked in a front chicanery. Jade went for a lariat, but Rosa ducked and followed up with more low kicks. Thunder Rosa briefly took control. Jade hit back with a Samoan drop to get back in control. Jade Cargill went to follow out with a backbreaker. However, Thunder Rosa hit back with knee breakers before Cargill boosted Thunder Rosa over to the corner. We saw a hooded figure smash Thunder Rosa across the head. Jade hit Jaded, and there was a beatdown afterwards, and the hooded figure turned out to be Mercedes Martinez, who's back in AEW. Didn't see this coming. I thought she was going to be an Impact for the foreseeable, but yeah, really good stuff. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Decent match, decent return, all good in my books. CM Punk was out on AEW Dynamite and firstly paid tribute for Jim Ross for overcoming cancer. Obviously great news, so happy for JR. And then Mr. Brody Lee as well. Punk then moved on to talk about MJF categorising him as a copy of an internet troll. Punk added that even if MJF was done, he was okay because he got the chance to team with Darby and Sting. The straight edge superstar added that he was done with MJF, calling him a bigger waste of time than NFL quarterback Tim Tebow. I don't watch the NFL, but yeah, I guess it was a good line. But yeah, decent promo from CM Punk, just doing what CM Punk does best. So yeah, this was solid stuff. Before we got Brian Pillman Jr., who was in the ring, and after he came back from a break, he called out Malachi Black. Pillman Jr. said that he learnt from his father you could only get one life and promised a new version of himself next week. Malachi Black briefly appeared before disappearing. Yeah, looking forward to Malachi Black, hope to get back on track. Before it was time for our main event, the Undisputed Era back together. Kyle O'Reilly and Chuck Taylor started things off for their respective teams. O'Reilly quickly forced Chucky T to tag out and Trent came in as legal man, before both KOR and Trent hit each other with stiff shots as both men went down and tagging out. Orange Cassidy and Bobby Fish tagged in as legal men. Cassidy got a quick roll up for a 2 count before Fish went for a senton, but Cassidy rolled out of the way. Cole then took out Orange, giving Fish a chance to connect with a senton. Alan Cole tagged in as Trent Kane for the team. The best friends were all over Cal, but O'Reilly and Fish were in to break it up. Taylor and Cole were legal men, and O'Reilly hit a dragon screw finish before Fish sent Chucky out of the ring. The heels traded tags, isolating Chucky T in their corner. Back from the break, Adam Cole superkicked Orange Cassidy off the apron. Trent tagged in and was all over the heels. He hit Fish with a half and half suplex, followed by a suplex and a tornado DDT on Kyle O'Reilly. Fish then tagged in as he and KR double teamed Trent. Fish hit a tail wall backbreaker and O'Reilly followed out with a leg drop. Orange Cassidy and O'Reilly tagged in. Cassidy hit him with a top rope suicida out to ringside, followed by a stand dog millionaire. O'Reilly and Fish impressed combination on Orange Cassidy, who allowed them to take back control. Adam Cole went for a Panama Sunrise, but Chucky T countered it. Back in the ring, Cassidy hit diving DDT to Cole. O'Reilly went for a running boot to Orange Cassidy, but took out Adam Cole by mistake. Best friends capitalised before Brandon Cutler ran into the ring, but was immediately taken down. The Bunks ran out and hit a double super kick. This saw Kyle O'Reilly take advantage and take out Chuck Taylor to pick up the win on his first match on Dynamite. Yeah, I'll give it a 7 out of 10 this. Really chaotic main event, still teasing tension within the UAE, but yeah, they're still getting the win in the end. This was good shit. Overall this week, AEW Dynamite gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Yeah, really solid episode of Dynamite this week. Enjoyed it from start to finish. Lots of decent bits throughout the show. UE reuniting, lots of returns and all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, on the whole, it just felt like we were kind of building up to next week. But yeah, still a very solid episode. But anyway, guys, that's it for the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Remember your thoughts, comments down below. Follow us on the description below for daily wrestling news and subscribe to my channel. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.